Mabuhay everyone, March is here. Welcome to the channel, and today I'll be doing another comparison video between these two signature sneakers. Of course, one from Jordan brand, which is the Not 0.4, the newest signature sneaker from Jordan brand of Russell Westbrook, and of course the Kyrie 7, of course Kyrie's signature sneaker for this year. So let's compare this. A lot of you have been asking me to compare this, and certainly these two can go toe to toe because they have very similar specs, very similar play style, and of course the price point is the same. It's 6,900 for these two sneakers. So this one is a really nice comparison, especially if you wanted to know which one is more worth it. So without further ado, let's do this. If you want to watch a full performance review of each of the sneaker, a more detailed review of each of these, I'll be putting the link up here. So let's start off first with the upper of both sneakers. Both sneakers have mesh upper, but one main difference is the Not 0.4 has different kind of mesh. They have this jersey mesh around the toe area. They have the regular mesh around the edges of the toe. There's some fusing around the lateral part of the midfoot, and of course some suede, some nubuck texture. There's a lot of textures going on the Not 0.4, but what's good on the Not 0.4 compared to its predecessor is it's not too bulky, it's not too thick. Actually, they really press the materials together in one layer instead of putting the layers on top of each other, making it less bulky and making it more lightweight, and making it the lightest Not from 1 to 4. While on the Kyrie 7, it features a mesh upper that is really fused, and I'm really liking it because in terms of performance, the upper of the Kyrie 7 is really supportive given that the material is really thin. So ventilation is good on the Kyrie 7. Ventilation is also very nice on the Not 0.4 because they really press the materials all together, making both of these sneakers not very warm around your foot, and it's really supportive for both sneakers. In terms of support, like I said, both are very supportive and durability is there on both, pretty much equal, but I would say the Kyrie 7 is a little bit more supportive compared to the Not. It is because of my foot shape. I'm a regular footer, so the Kyrie's is a little bit snug around the forefoot area compared to the Nots, which has a roomier toe area. So if you're a regular footer like me, there's a little bit of toe space around the Nots. But if you're a wide footer, you will surely love the shape of the Nots compared to the Kyrie's. Like I said, in terms of support, both materials of the upper are really supportive and they're very durable. Like in the Kyrie's, it's heavily fused, while on the Not 0.4, there's a lot of textures going on, and in the high wear areas, the materials there are very durable. Like in the lateral side, it's heavily fused here on the Nots, and even on the middle side of the sneaker, they use the thicker mesh or the more fused mesh, very similar to the Kyrie 7 around those high wear areas. So I would say both are pretty much alike. It really depends on your foot shape. If you're a regular footer, Kyrie 7. If you're a wide footer, the Not's shape is for you. And moving on to the midfoot part of the sneaker, where you will see these fingers on the Kyrie's that acts as additional support, and when you're really tightening up the laces, it will really pull your foot down to the footbed, which I really like. I really like the support from the forefoot midfoot of the Kyrie's. While on the Nots, they have this additional nylon material which also acts as wing. So when you pull the laces, this nylon material together with this strap really hugs your foot, very similar to the Kyrie's. They're just different in terms of aesthetics, but in terms of function, they're pretty much similar. The Nots and the Kyrie's have a traditional tongue, but the one on the Kyrie's is stitched on the footbed. And as for the lacing system, traditional lacing system, very easy to customize. Both sneakers are very easy to wear. And now moving on to the heel part of the sneaker, where you can see the major difference. Of course, on the Kyrie's, it's a mid-cut sneaker, while on the Nots, it's a low mid, so it's lower around the ankle. So it depends on your preference if you like a mid-cut sneaker or a low top. Of course, the main difference between the two is the Kyrie's will give you an extra ankle protection and support, and will give you a peace of mind, especially for all those who are afraid to roll their ankles. And as for the Achilles pillows, both have very nice Achilles pillows. Well, on the Why Nots, it's a little bit thicker, but in terms of heel containment, lockdown, I would say pretty much equal. No heel slippage on both sneakers. And both have internal heel cup for additional heel support. Around the heel part, they're pretty much the same, except for the extra ankle protection that you'll be getting from the Kyrie 7s. Now moving on to the cushion midsole of these two sneakers, where they're very much alike in my opinion. Both sneakers have forefoot zoom unit. The main difference is, of course, the Kyrie 7 has a zoom turbo unit, which is articulated, while on the Why Not 0.4, the zoom unit is this shape, but it is double stacked, and the carrying cushion for both is Phylon. Upon playing with them alternately on one night, I would say the main difference of the cushion is if you want a lower profile sneaker or closer to the ground feel, but still have that bounciness in the forefoot, the Kyrie 7 is for you. While if you want an extra bouncier forefoot cushion compared to the Kyrie 7, the Why Not's double stack zoom unit in the forefoot is extra bouncy compared to the Kyrie 7, but it's a little bit higher off the ground compared to the Kyrie 7. And around the heel part of the cushion is another difference. The Why Not's cushion on the heel is a little bit thicker compared to the Kyrie 7. So if you want extra impact protection, of course, go with the Why Not 0.4. So in terms of the summary of the cushion setup, if you want a lower profile, closer to the ground, and a good bounce in the forefoot and enough impact protection in the heel, Kyrie 7 is for you. But if you don't mind it to be a little bit higher off the ground, but still not that high, but it is higher than the Kyrie 7, the Why Not's zoom unit in the forefoot that is double stack is extra bouncy compared to the zoom unit of the Kyrie 7. And if you want extra impact protection or a better impact protection in the heel, the Why Nots is for you if you're comparing it with the Kyrie 7. And now let's move on to the outsole of these two sneakers. So both of these sneakers have XDR rubber, extra durable rubber for the EP version here in Asia. And as for the rubber compound of the Why Nots with this bead-like pattern, it's really hard. And also the Kyrie 7's traction is also very hard. I would say outdoor use for both is good. But if you're asking which will last longer, I would say the Kyrie 7 would last longer because it has thicker patterns compared to the bead pattern of the Why Nots. And as for the grip of the traction of these two sneakers, I would say the Kyrie 7 is a little bit better compared to the Why Nots. Although the Why Nots traction grips good too, but comparing it to the Kyrie 7, I would say the grip of the Kyrie 7's traction is gnarlier and it bites harder compared to the Why Nots. And it squeaks louder if you are into that. So for me, I like the Kyrie 7's traction a little bit better. It bites harder and it squeaks. And as for dust pickup for both, I was playing on moist and semi-dusty but still good floor. And both tractions were really good. I didn't experience any slip, especially on the Kyries. And even on the Why Nots, there's no movement that I experienced slipping. Even when I was doing lateral moves or turning around or doing a spin, both have very good grip in all surface area of the traction. One thing that is better on the outsole of the Why Nots is of course the decoupled outsole. You can really feel it when you're playing it side by side. When you're running up and down the court, you can really feel how fluid you run up and down the court with the Why Nots. It's something about the decoupled outsole and the shape of the Why Nots that really gives you a very nice heel-to-toe transition compared to the Kyries, which isn't that bad, but the heel-to-toe transition of the Why Not is great. So if you're someone who likes to run up and down the court a lot at a very high speed, you will surely like the Why Not's outsole, especially the heel-to-toe transition. Well, if you are a shiftier guard and you move laterally a lot and doing side steps and a lot of spin, the Kyrie 7's outsole is for you. As for the sizing of both sneakers, regular footers go true to size and wide footers half size up. And if you're a wide footer, I would recommend more the Not 0.4 because of the shape of the upper, because of the toe space of the Not 0.4. And like I said, for pricing, both have the same price. It's 6,900 pesos. And as for the weight of these two sneakers, this will really surprise you. The Not 0.4 is lighter compared to the Kyrie 7. This is the lightest Not basketball sneakers. And that being the reason why is I think they really put emphasis on making the sneaker light. They really press the materials and still give you that textured look, but at the same time, shedding off weight. And they really made this plastic even on the heel really thin and really soft to lessen the weight of this pull tab or pull tab design. And as for the weight of the Not 0.4, it's 400 grams, while the Kyrie 7 is 410. So this is 10 grams heavier compared to the Nots. But when you're using it, you wouldn't mind the 10 grams at all. I'm just putting emphasis on how light the Nots right now are. So for my overall summary for these two sneakers, if you have a regular foot, if you like mid-cut sneaker, and you want extra ankle support, and a good bounce in the forefoot, and an ample impact protection around the heel, and excellent traction, especially if you move laterally, the Kyrie 7 is for you. And if you have a wider foot, and you like a low top sneaker instead of a mid top sneaker, and you always run up and down the court a lot, and you want extra bounciness around the forefoot and extra impact protection around the heel, the Not 0.4 is for you. And as for other aspects of the sneakers, they're both pretty much the same in terms of support, durability, and outdoor use. So that's it on my comparison between the Not 0.4 and the Kyrie 7. I hope I helped you guys out in choosing between these two sneakers. Let me know in the comments down below which sneaker you would choose. This has been Marches once again. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.